Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Thungal online classes. With the last class, we have completed the discussion of alcohols, phenols, and ether. In this class, we are going to start about another important chapter of organic chemistry, that is aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids. Aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids. Right? This is an important chapter. Okay. As per the modified syllabus, nothing is being removed from this particular chapter. There is a deduction of syllabus from each and chapter. A bit of syllabus is being removed from particularly this from this chapter. There is no deduction of any syllabus. Everything is being retained. Okay. So as per the older syllabus, this particular chapter carries 8 marks weightage. It carries 8 marks weightage. From these 8 marks, the way of asking is that they are generally asking a 5 marks question as well as a 2 marks question and a 1 mark question. An important thing to be noted on is that whatever the weightage of this chapter, this is according to the earlier syllabus, the older syllabus. Now, for this academic year, due to the pandemic, some of the syllabus is being reduced. Some of the chapters has been removed. From the second PU, there are 3 chapters which have been removed. From the part 2, chemistry in everyday life, as well as polymers is being removed, as well as metallurgy also is removed. So that means there is the weightage of this particular chapter. Technically, if you are speaking, whatever the syllabus is reduced, those marks are going to be added to the retaining chapters. So technically speaking, this chapter carries more than 8 marks weightage. It could be up to 10 marks as per the latest syllabus. Whatever the weightage we are giving so far, that is as per the older syllabus, but the syllabus is being modified, some of the topics is being removed. Those weightage of those chapters will be added to the existing chapters. By that, what happens, the weightage carrying these chapters will be increased by a certain percentage. So you can consider it can be around 8 to 10 marks weightage for this particular chapter, that is aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids. Okay, right. Let us see what is meant by this aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids. And before entering into the topic, I would like to make a note one thing. Here we are strictly going to discuss about the NCERT board. We are not going behind the board syllabus. Okay, whatever the coaching part is there, that will be discussed later. So now in this particular session, we are only sticking to the board syllabus, whatever the syllabus given in the NCERT as per the modified syllabus. Now, if you are coming at a topic that is aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids, you already know about the families, organic families such as aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid. You have already studied their definitions in the first PU itself. Now, basically, the compounds are basically any compound which is having C double bond O group. This particular group, basically we know that carbon carries 4 valences. Out of 4 valences, if 2 valences of a particular carbon is being satisfied by an oxygen with a double bond, here the oxygen is having a double bond with the carbon and remaining 2 valences of the carbon are left. Okay, here this type of group is basically called carbonyl group. What it is called? Carbonyl group. What is meant by carbonyl group? Okay, the carbon which is having a double bond linkage with an oxygen is called as carbonyl group, and compounds containing carbonyl group are called carbonyl compounds. Okay, this particular group is called as carbonyl group. Out of 4 valences of this carbon, 2 valences are being satisfied by oxygen with a double bond. Out of this double bond, one will be pi bond and other will be the sigma bond, and 2 valences are left. They can be satisfied by any other atom or group of atoms such as hydrogen or other carbon or alkyl group. Such a group is called as carbonyl group, and compounds having carbonyl group are called as, what we can say, compounds having carbonyl group are known as carbonyl compounds. carbonyl compounds. Okay, what is mean by carbonyl group? The group which is having C double bond O linkage is called as carbonyl group, and the compounds which are having carbonyl group are called as carbonyl compounds. Basically, these carbonyl compounds includes aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids, and their derivatives. Their derivatives in this carboxylic acid derivatives. Okay, and carboxylic acid derivatives. We will see what is mean by carboxylic acid derivatives. Carboxylic acid derivatives are regarded as, are considered as carbonyl compounds. What they are considered as? Carbonyl compounds. Why they are considered as carbonyl compounds? Because they contain a C double bond O linkage, and so they are considered as carbonyl compounds. Let us see one by one what is meant by aldehydes and what is meant by ketones and what is meant by carboxylic acids. Right? If we are talking about the first one, which is aldehydes. Right? In aldehydes, the carbonyl group, or we can also say carbonyl group. This entire group is called as carbonyl group, and this particular carbon is called as carbonyl carbon. In aldehydes, the carbonyl group or the carbonyl carbon is bonded to either two hydrogens or an hydrogen and carbon, right? See, generally what is meant by carbonyl group? The group which is having C double bond O linkage is called as carbonyl group. If this carbonyl group containing compound has to be considered as aldehyde, either it has to be attached to two hydrogen, or it may attach to one hydrogen and one alkyl group. What is meant by alkyl group? It can be any carbon containing group. Okay, it can be alkyl, methyl, ethyl, propyl, anything it can be. Okay, these type of compounds. See, this particular group is called as carbonyl group. Okay, as we know, two valences of the carbonyl groups are left vacant, which either might be satisfied by two hydrogens alone or either by one carbon and one hydrogen. Okay, this type of compounds are called as aldehydes. If you are talking in definition terms, they can be considered. That is, aldehydes can be regarded as the derivatives of hydrocarbons in which two hydrogens of terminal carbon are replaced by a double bonded oxygen. They can in terms of definition, they can be defined as, aldehydes can be defined as the derivatives of hydrocarbons in which two hydrogens of a terminal carbon are replaced by a double bonded oxygen. Let us see what is mean by this. Suppose let us take a general hydrocarbon such as alkane. This is a general representation of an alkane. This can be any alkyl group, and this is CH3. Now, if you replace two hydrogens of this terminal carbon, right? I am replacing two hydrogens with an oxygen. So, like this, what happens? It will be converted into, this terminal carbon is attached to three hydrogens, have been replaced two hydrogens with an oxygen. So, what it will be converted into? The resultant group will be what? Aldehyde group. Means these are defined as, okay, they can be defined as the derivatives of hydrocarbon in which two hydrogens of a terminal carbon is being removed by oxygen, double bonded oxygen. Okay, this is about the definition of aldehydes. Okay, if you are talking about the definition of ketones and carboxylic acids, we'll see. Hope it is clear so far. Right. If you're talking about the ketones, in ketones, carbonyl group is attached to two carbons or we say two alkyl groups. What do we say? Alkyl groups, right? This is the carbonyl group. If these two valencies of the carbonyl group are connected by alkyl groups, either may be same or may be different, the resulting species is called as ketones, right? If both the alkyl groups attached to the carbonyl group are same, then they are called symmetrical ketones. What they are called? If they are same, symmetrical ketones. If these are different, these are called unsymmetrical. What they are called? Unsymmetrical ketones, based on the nature of alkyl groups attached to the carbonyl group. Okay. In definition terms, if you are speaking in terms of definition, they are defined as the derivatives of hydrocarbons in which two hydrogens of non-terminal carbon. What is mean by non-terminal? Middle carbon. It should not be end carbons. Terminal carbon are replaced by a double bonded oxygen. What is this? A double bonded oxygen. Now, let us see what is meant by this. Suppose let us take an hydrocarbon such as alkene. Hydrocarbon could be anything. It can be alkene, alkyne, or any aromatic or cyclic compounds also. Now, if I replace the end carbons are called as terminal carbons. Non-terminal means other than terminal is called as non-terminal. That means it has to be non-terminal. Okay. So, suppose if I remove these two hydrogens by adding an oxygen, I am adding an oxygen and removing two hydrogens. So, what it will be converted into? It will be converted into ketone. In terms of definition, we can say this is. Now, here based on the nature of these alkyl groups, if these two are identical, we say symmetrical ketones. What is mean by symmetrical? See, suppose if I take both the groups of methyl group, so we can say this is as symmetrical ketone. This is dimethyl ketone. Suppose if I take a different alkyl groups, CH3, C double bond O, CH2 and CH3. See, now these two alkyl groups are not same. On the left side there is a methyl group, on the right side there is a ethyl group. Since if these two alkyl groups are different, then we can say unsymmetrical ketone, right? So, this is the difference between the symmetrical and unsymmetrical ketones. Okay. So, if you are speaking in terms of definition, ketones are regarded as the derivatives of hydrocarbons in which two hydrogens of a non-terminal carbon is being replaced by a double bonded oxygen, and generally the carbonyl group in the ketones is attached to two carbons or two alkyl groups, whereas in aldehydes the carbonyl group is attached to, in aldehydes what was the case? One should be the alkyl group, other should be the hydrogen. This is the difference. This is aldehyde, this is ketone. The carbonyl group of the aldehyde should be attached to one hydrogen at least, right? Whereas the carbonyl group of the ketones will be attached to two alkyl groups. This is a major difference between the aldehydes and ketones, right? Now, there is another term in this chapter which is called carboxylic acid. Let us see what is mean by carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acids, if you see the carboxylic acid also contains a carbonyl group, hence we are including them under the carbonyl compounds. All the compounds which are containing carbonyl group are called as carbonyl compounds. So, these carboxylic acids also can be included on the carbonyl compounds since they contains a carbonyl group. Now, here among the two valencies of carbonyl group, one will be attached by either hydrogen or alkyl group and other will be attached by hydroxy group. Okay, if one of the valency of carbonyl group is satisfied by oxygen hydroxy group, then such carbonyl compounds are called as carboxylic acid. This is a general formula or general representation of the carboxylic group. Okay, that means what we can say, in carboxylic acids, carbonyl group is attached or bonded to hydroxy group and alkyl group. What is this other one? Alkyl group. If you want to define them, the definition can be given as, they can be regarded as derivatives of hydrocarbon in which one hydrogen is being replaced by carboxylic group. This particular group is called as C double bond OH, or we can also say COH. This particular group is called as what we call it as carboxylic group. They can also be regarded as derivatives of hydrocarbon in which, suppose if I take this as an hydrocarbon, a simplest hydrocarbon such as alkane, if I replace an hydrogen with carboxylic group, with what I am replacing? Carboxylic group, they can be regarded as derivatives of hydrocarbons in which one of the hydrogen is being replaced by carboxylic group. One or more than one hydrogen are being replaced by corresponding number of carboxylic group. Okay, this is about the definition of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic group. There is another term which is mean by derivatives of carboxylic group. Let us see what is mean by derivatives of carboxylic group. Derivatives of carboxylic group or carboxylic acids. Basically, the general formula of carboxylic acid is OH. Suppose if I replace this hydroxy group with any other group, okay, such as if I replace this with a carboxylic group with alkoxy group, okay, if I replace this hydrogen with alkyl group, the resultant compound is called as ester. Would be called as ester. Suppose if I replace this hydroxy group with NH2 group, if I replace this alkoxy group with NH2 group, this is called as amide. If I replace with this hydroxy group with halogen such as chlorine, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, the resultant group is called as acyl halide. What do we call it as? We call it as acyl halide or acid halide we call it as. Suppose if I replace this group with acyl group, this hydroxy group, or C double bond OR, these are called as acid anhydrides. What they are called? Acid anhydrides. These are all called as derivatives of carboxylic acids. If you observe, they are also contains a carbonyl group, C double bond O group, C double bond O group, C double bond O group, and so they can also be included under the category of carbonyl compounds since they contain a carbonyl group. All the compounds which contains a carbonyl group can be regarded as carbonyl compounds. Okay, these are called as acid derivatives. We are going to discuss them also in the discussion of carboxylic acid. This is a general formula of what is this? Carboxylic acid, and these are all called as derivatives of carboxylic acid such as esters, amides, acyl halides or acid halides and acid anhydrides. Okay, the general formulas are very important. What is a general form of aldehyde? This is a general form of what is this? Aldehyde. Alright, and what is the general formula of ketone? Either this or this. This is a symmetrical ketone and this is the unsymmetrical ketone. And what is the general formula of carboxylic acid? Or C double bond OH. Right? This, if the hydroxy group is replaced by alkoxy group, the resultant compound is called as ester. If the hydroxy group is replaced by NH2 group, this is called as amide. If the hydroxy group is replaced by halogen, this is called as acyl halide or acid halide. If the hydroxy group is replaced by acyl group, then it is called as acid anhydride, which are called as carboxylic acid derivatives. All these compounds in general can be regarded as carbonyl compounds since all of them contains a carbon C double bond O group which is called as carbonyl group. But in this chapter we are only going to discuss about general methods of preparation and properties of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, and we are not going to discuss about the esters, amide and acid halides and anhydrates in this particular chapter. Hope it is clear so far. Right, now let us see all these compounds. Basically, there is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. As I said, we are going to discuss about aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. Acids are widely spread in plants as well as in plants and animals. In plants and animals, they generally add fragrance and flavor to the nature. For example, if you want to see, there are certain compounds which are basically these aldehydes and ketones are most widely used as a fragrance giving substances as well as flavor adding substances. These are all natural compounds, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. What is mean by natural compounds? The compounds which exist in the nature are called as natural compounds. Okay, since they are natural compounds, they add certain flavor or fragrances. Fragrance means good smell, pleasant smell, and flavor means particular kind of taste is called as flavor. For example, if you are talking about here, we can say there are some compounds which gives vanillin. Vanillin is basically an aldehyde whose structure will be this particular compound is called as vanillin, which is extracted from vanillin beans. Okay, it is used as a flavor. Okay, vanillin flavor. And there is another compound which we can say salicyl aldehyde, which is the structure of this particular compound is this is the structure of salicyl aldehyde. This has been extracted from meadow sweet. Meadow sweet is actually an herb. From this herb we extract this particular salicyl aldehyde. It is also used as a flavor giving substance. One more compound we say cinnamaldehyde. Cinnamaldehyde is extracted from cinnamon tree. The structure of this particular compound is this is the cinnamaldehyde. These are some examples of flavor giving substances. All of them are aldehydes, right? Basically, all these compounds they are widely exist in the nature and they are widely used. These aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, they are widely used in preparation of food and flavor giving substances. Some of the compounds are also used. Some of the compounds of this family, some of the compounds are manufactured. Manufactured means that means synthesized artificially. For example, acetone, and used as solvents in preparation of pharmaceutical compounds, okay, resins, adhesives, various industrial products. They are used as a solvent. Solvent means anything which is used as a preparatory medium is called as solvents. Even though they are natural compounds, if we need any one of these compounds in excess, we need to go for the manufacture, which we generally synthesize artificially. Such example we can say acetone. Acetone, okay, you might have already used this acetone. Basically, acetone is used as an nail paint remover. Okay, to remove your nail paint, you might have, if you have a habit of using a nail paint, in order to easily remove, we basically apply acetone. So various purposes we use these compounds in daily life also. Okay, this is about the little bit introduction about the aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. All I wanted to say that these are the compounds which naturally exist in the nature and which we use widely in our daily life. Okay. Now let us see the nomenclature of these compounds. Nomenclature of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. Hope you know, in general nomenclature we use two types of nomenclature. One will be common nomenclature as well as IUPAC, which is called systematic nomenclature. First of all, we will talk about the aldehydes. Okay, in the aldehydes we will discuss about the nomenclature of aldehydes. Under that we will see the first one, common nomenclature. Common nomenclature. Alright. Basically, the common names of aldehydes are derived from the carboxylic acid, which can be converted into corresponding carboxylic acid on oxidation. Okay. And basically these common names are derived from Latin or Greek words, which basically means the source of the compound or the nature of the compound. Okay. So if you are talking about the common names of these carbonyl aldehydes, common names of aldehydes are derived from the corresponding carboxylic acids to which they can be oxidized. Okay. And the common names are generally from Latin or Greek words. Indicates source of aldehyde or acid, aldehyde or carboxylic acid. Basically, in the common nomenclature, what we do, okay, the ic acid of carboxylic acid should be replaced with aldehyde. While naming the common names of aldehydes, the ic acid of the carboxylic acid should be replaced by aldehyde. For example, let us take the simplest aldehyde, which is called formaldehyde. What is this? This is the simplest aldehyde, which is called formaldehyde. How we name this formaldehyde? Let us see what is the corresponding carboxylic acid to which it can be oxidized. It can be oxidized to a carboxylic acid, which is called formic acid. So what is the name of this carboxylic acid? Formic acid. So in order to name this aldehyde, the name should be derived from the carboxylic acid. This is ic acid. So in order to name the common name of aldehyde, what we should do? This ic acid should be replaced by what we do? Formaldehyde. What we do? Formaldehyde. Now it becomes formaldehyde. Right? This is formic acid. Now what we have done? This ic acid has been replaced by formaldehyde. Why we use this formic? This formic is a term, formic acid is actually a Greek term which means red ant. This compound is been found to be, it is been found in the red ant. Based on the source, it has been named as formic acid. Okay, when a red ant bites, right, what happens? It gives such an itching sensation or burning sensation. That is because of a particular compound which is called as formic acid, right? When this, okay, formic acid is reduced to formaldehyde, right, what happens? It will be converted into, you have to name it as formaldehyde. Okay, this ic acid should be replaced by aldehyde. In the same way, suppose if you take another aldehyde, that is a CH3 C double bond O H, okay, which could be oxidized to an acid CH3 C double bond OH, which is called as acetic acid. What do you call it as? Acetic acid. So what should we name this corresponding aldehyde? This has to be named as acetaldehyde. This is how the name goes. Suppose if I take benzaldehyde, the common name of this particular compound is benzaldehyde. How we write this as benzaldehyde? This is from benzoic acid. What is this? This is benzoic acid. If you replace this oic acid, it will become benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde. This is how we should name the common names of aldehydes. Important thing to be noted down is that the common names of aldehydes are derived from the corresponding carboxylic acid, and in the carboxylic acid the ic acid should be replaced by aldehyde to name the particular aldehyde. Now another important thing is that substituents are the position of substituent. The position of substituents are indicated by using Greek symbols such as alpha, beta, gamma, delta, etc. Right? This alpha indicates the immediately next carbon that is attached to the carbonyl group, aldehyde group. This is the second next, this is the third next, this is fourth next. For example, suppose if you have a compound CH3, CH2, CHBr, CH2, CHO. Okay, if you have to name this commonly, this is your function group, aldehyde group. The carbon that is next to the aldehyde group should be called as alpha, and that is next to alpha is called as beta, that is next to beta is called as gamma, that is next to the gamma will be called delta, that is next to the delta will call epsilon. It goes like this. So this particular compound in generally can be called as, there is a substitution at beta position. What is the nature of substitution? Bromine. So how many carbons are there? 4 carbons are. So this is beta bromo. What is this? Beta bromo butyraldehyde. What is this? Butyraldehyde. Because this particular aldehyde can be oxidized to butyric acid. This is how you have to indicate the position of the substituent in common nomenclature of aldehydes. Hope it is clear so far. We will go for the IUPAC nomenclature of aldehydes. If you are talking about the IUPAC nomenclature of aldehydes, IUPAC nomenclature of aldehydes. According to the IUPAC system, the aldehydes are named by using a secondary suffix "-al". Okay, that is the E of alkane. The E of alkane should be replaced by, if it is alkane, E of alkane, if it is alkene, E of alkene, if it is alkyne, E of alkyne should be replaced by what is this? Al. this is a secondary suffix. Actually there are two secondary suffixes. That is one is al. This should be used when carbon of aldehyde group is counted, is included in parent chain. The second one is that carbaldehyde. Okay, this should be used when carbon of aldehyde group is not included in parent chain. I'll explain the difference. When you are using this secondary suffix al, the e should be replaced by al. Okay, when you are using carbaldehyde, the e should be retained. Okay, we are not replacing e when you are using carbaldehyde. With an example you will come to understand this. Basically, let us see. These are, according to IUPAC, these aldehydes are called as alkanols. What they are called? Alkanols they are called. Here e has been replaced by al. Suppose let us take the simplest example, formaldehyde. What is the common name of this particular compound? Formaldehyde. Okay, here we call it as formaldehyde according to the common system, right? And what about the IUPAC system? How to name IUPAC? In order to name the IUPAC system, we should know the basic rules and regulations of nomenclature. Hope you have already studied in the first PU, organic chemistry, how to name an organic compound. You have to select the parent chain. From the parent chain, you have to select the principal function group. Here it is having only one carbon. What is the root word should be used? One carbon. Meth. You have to consider as a derivative of methane, and what we have to write, E of the methane should be replaced by Al. So what it will become? Methane. Actually you should consider as a methane derivative. When two hydrogens of methane is replaced by double bonded oxygen, you will get a formaldehyde, which you have to call it as, what do you have to call it as? Methanol. What do you have to call it as? Methanol. Okay. Suppose if you are talking about the another compound, CH3 C double bond H. Right, this is commonly called as acetaldehyde. What do you call it as? Acetaldehyde. And if you are talking according to IUPAC, see how many carbons are there? 2 carbons, 1 and 2. This aldehyde group is being considered in the parent chain. This is a compound having 2 carbons, so including the carbonyl carbon. So when you are counting this carbon in the parent chain, you have to use a suffix al. So how many carbons are there? 2 carbons. What do you call it as? Ethanol. What do you call it as? Ethanol. Right? Suppose if you are taking CH3, CH3, CH2. Commonly what we can call? There is a substitution. Okay. This is carbonyl group, aldehyde group. This is alpha, this is beta. So what is a substitution? Methoxy group. Commonly what we can call it as? This is called alpha methoxy. Alpha methoxy propionaldehyde. But as per the IUPAC, what do you have to call? You have to select a parent chain. That is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Where does this substitution is there? Second position. What is the substitution? Methoxy group. This is called 2-methoxy propanol. What is this? Propanol. Right? Since here also this carbon is being considered in the parent chain. Suppose if I write CH2 C double bond CH. This is commonly called vinyl aldehyde, or it is also called acrolein. What is this called? Acrolein. It is also called vinyl aldehyde. What we call it as? Vinyl aldehyde. Right? According to the IUPAC system, what you have to take? You have to select a parent chain 1, 2, 3. There is a double bond between 2 and 3 carbons. Now it is not an alkane. It is a derivative of alkene. Now what you have to call it as? Alkenal. And you have to indicate the position of the double bond also. So what do you have to call it as? How many carbons are there? 3 carbons. So what do you have to call it as? Prop. At what position this double bond is there? At second position. Prop 2 in, right? I have taken E in here because it's a derivative of, because of the double bond, we call it as in. In all it is. What is this? 2 in all. 2 in 1 all, because one could be mentioned or not, it doesn't make any difference, because aldehydes are terminal functional group. Aldehyde group will be always present at the terminal position, so since you need not to mention the position, right? So this is in case of when aldehyde group is considered in a parent chain. Suppose if not, this aldehyde group is not considered in the parent chain, what we have to do? Let us see the example also, what it could be the case, the second case. Suppose if I take, this is a compound I have taken, right? So if you want to name either commonly or according to the IUPAC, here you have to take a parent chain. What is a parent chain? This cyclohexane should be taken as a parent chain. Sorry, cyclopentane should be taken as a parent chain. 5 carbons are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we including this carbon of aldehyde group in parent chain? No. So while naming it as, when the carbon of the aldehyde group is not included in the parent chain, then you have to name it as carbolide. If you want to name it commonly, it will become or IUPAC or account, both will be same only. It has to be called cyclohexane. Here E should be removed, retained. Cyclohexane, sorry, cyclopentane it has to be. Cyclopentane, since 5 carbons are there, cyclopentane carbolide we have to write it as. What do you have to write? Cyclohexane carbolide. Why we are writing it as carbolide? Because it is not considered in the parent chain. Suppose if you have a compound like this. So suppose if you want to write a common name, this is alpha, this is beta. So common name will be beta methoxy cyclopentane carbolide, and whereas IUPAC name will be, this is the first carbon, this is second carbon, third, fourth, fifth. Since the carbon of aldehyde group is not included, it has to be called 3-methoxy. What it has to be called? 3-methoxy. Sorry, it has to be 2-methoxy. 2-methoxy pentane carbolide. Right? Suppose if you have a compound like this will be called, what do you call it? Here also this carbon of aldehyde is not getting included in the parent chain, so we call it as cyclohexane. What do you call it as? Cyclohexane carbolide we call it as. And suppose if you have a compound like this, what do you call it as? Commonly it is called as benzaldehyde, or it can also be called as benzene carbolide. We have to call it as. Suppose if you have 2 aldehyde groups on adjacent, so they has to be called as, according to the IUPAC, this is called benzene. Okay, 1 and 2 positions there. Benzene 1, 2 dicarbolide. What is this? Dicarbolide. This is the IUPAC name. What is this? This is IUPAC name. And it is commonly called as phthalaldehyde. What it is called? It is commonly called as phthalaldehyde. This is a common name for this particular compound, right? Sometimes you will get some compounds like this. Right? CH2. Here also there are 2 carbonyl groups. For in these cases, what you have to number from the other direction. Numbering will be same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In such cases, what you have to do? You have to number it as how many carbons are there? Pentane. Okay. 1, 2 all you have to write. Okay, here both the carbons of aldehyde group are being included in the parent chain. It has to be called diol. If more than two aldehyde groups are directly attached to functional group, then in these cases what you have to do? You have to number in this manner. I'm not considering the carbon of the aldehyde group. Okay, now you have to name it as, how many carbons are there? Propane, okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 tricarbonaldehyde you have to write. This is the difference. If 2 are there, you can count them in the parent chain. If more than 2 carbonyl groups or aldehyde groups are directly attached to the parent chain, then in such cases the carbon of the aldehyde group should not be considered in the parent chain. Here 2 carbons are directly connected to the parent chain, so here we are considering the carbon of the aldehyde in the parent chain. If more than 2 are directly attached, the carbon of the aldehyde group should not be considered in the parent chain. Here I am not considering these carbons. I have directly taken only these 3 carbons, but whereas here I have taken all the 5 carbons. This is also one of the important difference, right? And one more thing you can say, if on benzene ring, if there any substitution, suppose like this is benzaldehyde, it can also be called as carbaldehyde. If there is any substitution on any position, suppose if you have a substitution on this position, this is commonly called meta position. Common name what happens? Meta nitrobenzaldehyde. What do you call it as? Meta nitrobenzaldehyde. As per the IUPAC, what you have to call it as? 2-nitrobenzaldehyde. This is common name. The first one is a common name and the second one is a IUPAC name. Okay. Suppose if the substitution is on, let me give 1 or 2 examples. Hope you might have already studied in the alcohols and halogen derivatives the criteria of nomenclature. I am just giving an awareness on that. Okay, suppose if you have like this. Now commonly what you can